This conference will now be recorded.
So we'll see how do we get the access to Salesforce, and then we'll see some terminologies and technical terminologies in Salesforce. Okay. So who would like to share the screen today? Anyone? Hello. Am I
I will
audible?
share. I will share my screen.
1 second, Shivani. Now, can you go to developer URL? It says developer.salesforce.com. So there are multiple ways in generating or creating a user in Salesforce. Not multiple ways, I would say only two ways. One is going to salesforce.com and registering it, and the other one is going to this developer.salesforce.com. But I would suggest to go with this because this is a lifetime edition. Okay, so you can sign up you in the salesforce.com website as well, but that is for actual customers, which means they'll give you a trial version which will be there for 30 days. Post that, Salesforce assumes that okay, well, let's say if Bhargava have signed up in salesforce.com, assumption is okay, say he is looking for a Salesforce or for his organization, so they will connect with him to make sure that he is buying it. But here this is for this is a learning portal, no difference. Only thing is like you cannot create too many extra users in this org, that's it. But that should be enough for us. Now click on browse trails. Here on the right top, you have a blue color button, browse trails. Click on this. Now browse all trails. On the left side bottom, in this developer edition, sign up. Okay, give your details. Your email ID should be uh, it can be any email ID, but it should be working. Okay. Country can be anything. And role need not be a developer role. You can choose any role over there. For any every role, it will be the same edition. They are just trying to capture your role. That's it. Okay. You can choose anything. It doesn't matter. Username. So here, you when it comes to username, right? First thing, it should be in a email format. So that's why they say like, okay, your name at company.com, right? So you can give your email ID also. It will work. And it's like any other website, right? It is unique, so you cannot have more than one same usernames.
Is that okay?
The system should say just click on sign up. Yeah. So now it will take some time to register. It's working. Just leave it. No, don't close, don't close. Still taking time. Go to your Gmail. You must be getting an email by now. Can you go to Gmail? Hello.
No, I didn't get.
It should be there in updates. Still in got.
Oh, didn't got.
Once again, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
So first time when you're registering, right, it might take around 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So you will get that email so into your system. It will ask you to verify. So when you click on verify button, it will ask you to set a password. Okay. Once the password is set, from next time when you want to log in, you will be going into login.salesforce.com. Okay. So this is the place where we will start using our system. Okay. Now I'll just log into one of my existing logins. We'll see how does it actually look. So once you verify, you will be landed over here into the Salesforce. Okay. So first, go to developer.salesforce.com, browse all trails, and sign up for developer edition. So once you sign up, you will be getting a verification email. Once you verify by setting up new passwords, you will be landed over here. This is the environment that we will be looking at the rest of the Salesforce sessions. Okay. Now, so as the name itself says, it is setup. So this is a setup screen. So this will be used by us who are both developers and admins. Okay. Now we will see how does it actually look for a end user today. Okay. So as an end user, why should I use Salesforce? Anyone? To resolve my business issues, right? So first thing when you want to use Salesforce, like you should know which application you have to log in. Now, in this, how do I access my application? So on the left side, can you see a donut symbol? So we call it as an app launcher. Click on that and click on view all. So this will show you all the list of applications that you can access. So I'm saying all the list of applications that I can access, not all the list of applications that are available in the system. Why? Because it depends on my system admin what all the permissions I have given. Okay, so I'll click on sales, which is pretty normal. So this is how your application looks like. These screens may not be the same, so you will be or let me take you to a new org. We'll go to some trails trail log. Okay. Okay, now this is what you will see. Okay, same screen, exact screen, no much changes. Now in this we will see some technical terminologies. For example, first one, let's say I want to know about uh, Citigroup. So what will I do? Or let's say I want to know about something about oil. What I'll do? I'll go to Chrome. I'll search for oil. I'll click on enter. So can someone tell me what happened now when I search for oil? Anyone? So this Google search for the word called oil and its service, and it has shown me all the information that I can access. Right? It's not the all the information that uh, um, is there in the servers, right? For example, if I go to this uh, yeah, oil price or this crude oil company, right? So I can't access their internal documentations, right? Whatever is made as public, only those things are given here. Even this ONGC also. So it speaks about high level of their organization, but I can't see their internal documents, right? Because as a Google user, this is what I have access. Similarly, if I want to search for oil here, because I know there are some records, and enter. So what will happen is Salesforce will search for that particular string across this org. Okay, what is this org? So you didn't signed up for your account actually. You have signed up for an org, for an environment in Salesforce. So this is not a Facebook or LinkedIn where I register, I will be given a user, I can access my friends' information and all. This is an individual org or a small space in the server where some data has been given for your practice as well. Okay, so along with the applications that we have seen yesterday, right, sales, service, marketing and all, so to practice for maybe for the reports, Salesforce have given us some dummy data also. Okay, but that data is not a concern. So issue is like when I search for this in the search bar here, what's happening is it will search for that particular string across all the tables that are available in the system. See, it says three records in accounts, five plus in contacts, cases zero, people zero, report zero, which means these are all the standard tables which are already given by Salesforce, and it is searching for this particular string in all tables in one shot itself. Okay, so as this is a Google search, we call this as global search. Any questions, anyone? So global search basically helps me to search for a particular string across my Salesforce or irrespective of the table. Is that clear? Any questions? Anyone? Then let us say, okay, I'll open some random record. Okay. Let's say I have opened this Avigreen. Okay, I'm working on this particular record. Okay. So I've seen updates. Later on, let's say I went for a vacation of maybe 3 4 weeks. Post that after coming back again I forgot. Again I have to search for it, again I have to see, because problem is like again you will have multiple people, you might have multiple people with the same names, right? To avoid the confusions, what I'll do is I'll make it as my favorite, so that whichever the tab I am, it doesn't matter, I'll click on this drop down, I'll say okay, this is my favorite record because I'm working on it, so I can open it directly. Okay, so you can make up till 10 records as your favorites in this favorite bar. Is that clear? Any questions till now? Anyone?
Can you please repeat this again?
This is a favorites bar where you can make any record as your favorite so that you can open it at any time. It's not that you have to go to that particular table and open it. Instead, you click on this down arrow mark. For example, I'll open some other record also. Let's say I'll go to leads. Yeah, I have some around 22 leads. So let's say I want to make this record as my favorite. So I'll make it. Later on, I can go to any tab for that matter. I'll click on this. See, Bertha Boxer is there. I'll select this. It will take me to that record anytime. Okay, clear? Now, so this is called as global action. Before we go this, we will open some Excel sheet. So as I told you earlier, the prerequisite for Salesforce is Excel. So we will see how do we compare our Excel terminologies with Salesforce. Okay. So one side I will say Excel, other side I will say Salesforce. So Excel, let's say if I open a folder, so if I have created an Excel file, so basically, this is one file, right? Book one is the name of the file. So what you'll have in Excel, you'll have files in book one. So what you'll have, you will have multiple sheets, right? So example is book one. Then you will have sheet 1. You will have multiple sheets in Excel. Now, in the sheets, what you'll have, for example, I want in sheet 2, I want to track customer information. What I'll have, I'll say name of the customer, email of the customer, phone number, maybe address, etc. etc. Name I'll say Ram at z.com, phone number 123, address BLR. Then name Shivani, email Shivani at s.com, phone number 345 or 234, and finally her address, let's say Hyderabad. Is this correct? This all will capture the records. Am I correct? Any questions on this? I'll keep on adding whatever the details that we are getting in future. And this is how a table is made in your Excel. Am I correct? Or anything wrong in this? Anyone? There's nothing wrong.
You given the place of name, you given the address. Address
Table is correct, but the information that I'm providing is wrong,
is wrong.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Those validations can be made in Salesforce basically. Okay, but yeah, sheet. What is the purpose of sheet now? To access your tables, right? You will have tables inside your sheets, right? In Excel, we'll call it as files, then sheets, then tables. What you'll have in tables, columns and rows, right? The name, email, phone number, address are columns. Ram and Shivani are rows, the information. Am I correct? Now, we'll go to Salesforce. Now, in Salesforce, there's files you can call as apps or applications. How do we access them? From the app launcher, which means when I click on app launcher and say view all, these are all our applications. Okay, so when you go to this file, what you'll see, you will see sheets. So similarly, when I go to any of the applications, in this case when we go to sales, you can see tabs. These are called as tabs. Okay, what is the purpose of a sheet? It helps you to access the table, right? Table data basically, correct? The data in a table. Am I correct? If let's say if sheet 2 is handling customer information, you will see customer data inside of the sheet. Similarly, tab helps you to access the data of an object. Okay, which means the technical name of a sheet is tab, and the technical name of an table is object. Any questions till now? Anyone? In Excel, you will call sheet. In Salesforce, we'll call tab. In Excel, you'll call table. In Salesforce, we'll call object. In Excel, you'll call column. So here what is it? For example, if I want to create a new record in this Excel, you will go to the next sheet and create it, right? But in Salesforce, what you'll do, you'll click on new button. As it's a tool, you have to click on new button and start filling the information. See, same, first name, last name, company, title, etc., etc. Right? These are all, what are these? These are fields. Let's say if I created 1,000 records already, okay? And if I want to create one more, what value should I give in this column? Column F. What is the value if I want to create one more value or one more record? What is the value that I should give in under F, column F? According to this table, I can give anything, but ideally I have to provide my email ID. Am I correct? Which how many ever record you have created under column F, you have to provide only email. That's what this table says. Correct? Similarly, you can create any number of records, but when it comes to this column, which is field, you have to give the company name. Or if you come here, you have to give the field facts. For example, here I will say ABC and try to click outside. See, it says it is not a valid format. Such validations are not there in Excel. It will be taken care in Salesforce. Okay. But if I say ABC at maybe some d.com, then it will consider it as a valid email because it has a proper regex expression. Okay. Now we call columns as fields in Salesforce and rows as records. Every row have a row number in your Excel, right? We will have IDs for records. So if I open any record for that matter, you will have a 15 character ID. This is unique. For example, if I copy this and go anywhere, it doesn't matter. After lightning.com, if I enter this ID and click on enter, it will take me back to that record again. Okay. That we'll see such things later. But any questions in this? Anyone? See, everyone in this session, if I'm not wrong, everyone in the session are new for Salesforce. So nothing wrong in saying yes or no. Don't feel like okay, others might think bad if I say no for this. Or if you have any questions, that is also good. Actually, it is good to ask some question instead of sitting idle. So yeah. Now, if I want to create a new contact record, what should I do? I have to go to contact tab and then click on new button, then enter this entire information one after another, right? But we have something called global action which we can also create. So here what we can do is we can create a contact quickly, like some basic information. When I speak about contact, what I need, maybe I need your phone number, email and your name. So more or less those are enough. Rest all we can capture later. If I want to create a contact quickly, then I'll go with the global actions. But if I have all the information, if I have all the type to create the, then I'll go to the contact tab and create it. Both are possible. Okay. For every object in the system, we can define a quick action and we can make it as a global action. So we'll see how do we do it in our future sessions. Okay. Next to that, you have the guidance center. So any new feature that has been raised in the system, so you can see this process. As I told you earlier, Salesforce releases thrice in a year, right? All those new features that they have released related to this particular application or object, it will be shown over here instead of you searching if there is anything new coming into the system. Okay, then this is for help center. Now, let us say I have seen some automation rule in Salesforce. It's quite interesting. I have defined it for my business process according to Salesforce documentation. Everything is sorted, and for some reason it is not working. I verified multiple times. I have followed all the best practices which I have to follow and created it. And it's a simple rule also. But for some reason it is not working. That is where I can raise a request to Salesforce because it's a product issue, Salesforce issue, right? So that's where I'll go to help and rating and I can raise a case with Salesforce. Okay. Now in this, if I'm a genuine customer, now we are not genuine customers, we are learning it, right? So if you are a genuine customer, Salesforce will basically it will ask you for production access. Once you give your access, you can raise a case. So once the case is raised, you can create a system user. Now, yeah, from this get support. Post that you can see some documentations, you can manage your contact records, all this. Apart from this, you can even go to success community and raise your questions also. And this one, it's a recent feature released by Salesforce around 6 months back. We call it as Inspector, Salesforce Inspector, where it'll show you the org health, like how many users have you created, how many of users have been utilized, and what all the UIs that you have created, all this. So we'll see them later. Finally, this is setup screen. This is also important. When you go to setup, this is the only screen that you will see most of the times, at least once in a day, throughout your sessions. Right? This is where either an admin or developer will work. Every day we'll come to this, we'll do something here. We can create our own applications, we can create our own objects, fields, we can create some users in the same org. We will see how we can secure them. We can write automations for anything and everything that we are going to see in future. We have to come to setup screen only. And setups are of two types. One is a normal setup and the other one is service setup. So when you are working on the service cloud, we will see in future where we will discuss about both sales and service applications also. So if you want to define anything on the service related features, then we'll go with the service cloud. And finally, we have something called developer console. This is the place where all the developers will work. Okay. So I would say this is a inline editor of Salesforce, wherein which I can write or create some components or see the existing custom components that are available. So when we start discussing about the development, we'll discuss about each and every feature that is available here. But this is the place where we will work as a developer, where we'll create our custom components in Vue.js. Okay, and then as the it says it's a notification bar where you can see the upcoming notifications. Then you have my settings. Click on it. This is the place where you can see your own settings, like your own personal information, your user credentials, your time zone can be set, your connections with other systems, if you want to change your passwords, your login history, each and every information about a logged in user can be traced over here. Okay, any questions so far, anyone? No questions?
So far, it's good.
So I do know it is not that interesting in the initial session, but yeah, these terminologies are very very important because we will use them in future. So even if it is bored, yes, you have to listen, you have to bear me at least this session. Tomorrow we will see how do we process these records, right? So first day I'm taking it very light, like just half an hour or so, but from tomorrow we'll make sure it is covered for 1 hour. Okay. And sometimes it'll be more than 1 hour, so it will be compensated. Don't worry about the timings, because in the initial sessions, need to give some time for you to digest. Slowly it will be compensated. Yeah. So assignment for tomorrow is make sure all of you have some credentials in Salesforce through the developer.salesforce.com. Second one, um, I think we didn't discussed about what is the process of learning. Right? I'm not giving you any application at the end of the sessions. Rather, we will start with some dummy application in the system itself before we start learning the concepts. So tomorrow you can come up with any idea saying that okay, I have a process where I need to build that as an application in the system. So it can be random, but as I said, let us go with some basic application instead of thinking about defining a tool for a big automobile industry or something. So those things also can be done, but yes, with the limited time we have, it is not that feasible for us. So you can try such things parallelly at your home on your own, but we will go with some simple application so that all the concepts that we are going to discuss will be covered in it, and we will, while learning the concepts, we will implement those concepts with some idea on your application, so that by the end of the session you will have a well defined application in your Salesforce orgs. Okay, that gives you a real time project in your system as well, without looking at the documentation at the last minute. So that generally in the interviews no one will ask you, okay, do you have any documentation? Rather, they'll ask you what you did for this application, or let's say if this is the issue, what you have done. So that is where you have to bring up or come up with the examples that you are going to do in future sessions. Okay. So make sure you are creating access, but because tomorrow, I think, yeah, tomorrow also one of you have to share the screen. So make sure you're coming up with the login access. Okay. And Shivani, did you got the mail by now?
Yes, Ram.
Yeah. Okay. You verified it, right? You have verified it, and you created the password also, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. Rest all, please do it as well. Yeah. So we'll continue from tomorrow. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Ram.